Welcome to East Alabama Today, featuring topics, events, and interesting people from all over East Alabama. Hosted by Carl Brady. Now, let's get right to the show. Here's Carl Brady.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into East Alabama Today. I'm Carl Brady. Thanks for joining us on our program. Big show coming up for you today. We're going to be talking about basketball and church ministry combined together. We're going to tell you all about that coming up in just a moment. But first, let me give you some details on how you can get in touch with us. If you have an idea for East Alabama Today, I want you to send me an email, cbrady@tv24.tv. That's the best way to get in touch with me. Let me know what's going on in your community. In our 9-county coverage area, you guys are our eyes and ears out on the street. You let us know what's happening by sending me an email, cbrady@tv24.tv. Fairs, festivals, special events, things that are going on with your church or your community organization. And we also want to know about the interesting people who live in your community. Maybe you know someone who's a writer, an artist, or a musician. Maybe they have an odd or an interesting hobby and you think they'd be a great guest for the program. Well, those are exactly the kind of people we are looking for to feature on the show. So shoot me their information at cbrady@tv24.tv. And don't forget, you can also catch East Alabama Today on demand online on our website, tv24.tv. Go to the on-demand section, click on East Alabama Today, and there you'll see a whole series of recent East Alabama Today shows that you can watch at your convenience online on your phone, your tablet, or your computer, whichever works out best for you. So check that out at tv24.tv. We'll be back with today's show in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back into another East Alabama Today. Again, I'm Carl Brady, and as I mentioned earlier in the opening segment, we're going to be talking about combining basketball with church ministry and a special event that's coming up soon at a church in Etowah County. And we have a guest joining us now from East Gadsden Baptist Church. Chad Holderfield is with us. Chad, welcome to the program.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
And Pastor John Dickinson.
Yes.
Great to have you with us on the show as well. Chad is the basketball coach at Southside High School and a member at East Gadsden Baptist Church as well. And you guys have come up with a really unique ministry for kids in the community of having a basketball camp sponsored by the church. Just give us a little bit of the background of where this idea came from and how it came about.
We started the camp. This will be our 5th year. It's for all age groups. We start at kids who have finished kindergarten through kids that are going into the 8th grade, and we just wanted to offer an opportunity for those kids to do a couple of things. To number one, have an experience with basketball. Hopefully, a good experience for a lot of kids. It may be their first experience. So we really wanted to introduce the sport in a very introductory way. And just let it be fun and have a good time playing the sport and learning how to do the different things. But also, we really wanted this to be, it's just such a great, I think sports are such a great medium to talk about Christ with kids. There's so many great lessons that can be learned, and so we really wanted to use this as an opportunity to have the kids and to touch the kids and communicate with the parents and build a relationship with them and just talk to them about Christ, talk to them about Jesus.
But, John, this is a perfect example of the church reaching out to the community. The churches are supposed to be out in the community and not just stay within their own doors. Talk about your church membership and how people respond to an idea like this of inviting the community in for something like a basketball camp.
Exactly. East Gadsden has been there for 125 years. We celebrated that last August, I believe, and so the church has had a history of reaching out to its community, and I think it's a unique way of being able to do that once again, and it's through basketball, and I appreciate Chad being willing to do that for the church and how he uses some of our members as counselors and as they build that relationship with kids and where we have the opportunity to share with them.
You guys work a lot with kids in the community in numerous ways. You have a daycare there at the church, so you're reaching out. You have plenty of outreach into the community with kids and parents coming to the daycare. And Alan Hudson, your music director, music minister, has been working with youth choirs. Your youth choir is known all over the country. They travel all over the country in the summertime to perform. So you guys have a rich history of, like you said, reaching into the community, but especially working with the youth of the community.
Yes, yes. The day school has been there a long time, the kindergarten, since 1960. It's been, and a lot of people, it's one thing I've been here, and have been at East Gadsden 3 years in August, and everybody I talk to say, well, I've had some connection with that church. East Gadsden has a rich heritage there in our community.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. And Chad, being a basketball coach, what kind of things are you going to go over at this basketball camp? You said kind of the basics, but what can kids expect and parents expect when they come to your basketball camp?
You know, I get the question a lot. You know, my kids never played basketball before. Is this something? I think it's a great introduction to the sport. You know, we do a lot of just fundamental skill work. We'll teach the kids how to dribble and pass and catch and shoot. And we'll do some agility work with them to teach them how to move their body in an athletic way. And it's just a great opportunity for the kids to do those things and get some opportunities to work at the sport and improve themselves. You know, again, for all skill levels, for all age groups, it's just a great opportunity for these kids.
Absolutely. Now, what we haven't mentioned so far is that this is coming up on July the 11th through the 13th. It's a 3-day camp. There's a $10 cost to participate in the camp, which is a minimal cost. And but for 3 days, from 9 o'clock in the morning, was that right? Is it 9 o'clock? Or let's see, I've got my notes. Yeah, 9 o'clock till 1:30, but broken up into 2 different age groups.
Yes, we do our K through 4th grade from about 9 to about 11. And then we do our 5th grade through 8th grade from about 11:30 to about 1:30. We have time in there in the gaps for devotionals. Brother John's gonna do some devotionals with the kids every day, and we'll have time for the kids and really also parents to talk to some of our church members and maybe counsel a little bit. And you know, each day our kids will receive a little bit of refreshments. The camp registration also includes a T-shirt. They'll receive a T-shirt for participation in the camp. So,
have volunteers from the church that help you conduct the camp and conduct the little individual clinics. Some of your basketball coaches from Southside come over and help, or anything like that.
Usually, we're lucky with that youth that you talked about with Brother Allen. We have several kids from different schools all over the Etowah County area that will participate and help. We have kids from just about every Etowah County school that attend our church.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of shoes to fill to run the camp. Well, I'll have kids on the floor with us to help with some of the drill work. We have some of our people that will do registration, that will help serve refreshments. Stuff as simple as, you know, helping a kid find the restroom when they need a restroom break. You know, it's really an all hands on deck thing, and that's one thing that I'm really proud of our church and their participation, is that we really just have so many people that stand up and say, I'll do whatever you ask us to do, and it's really a fun opportunity for our church because we get to spend time together around these kids. It's just a real blessing.
How many kids are you expecting after this your 5th year? So
it's grown
probably
a little
built
bit.
up.
It's grown a little bit every year. The first year we did it, we had around 30 to 35 kids. Last year we were up close to about 55 or 60 kids. So it's grown a little bit every year that we've done it.
Absolutely.
And it's just we're hoping that the Lord will continue to bless us and send kids our way.
Talk to us a little bit about your background as a basketball coach and how you're at Southside High School now. Talk about your career and getting up to Southside High School and just your passion for basketball. This
will be my 15th year as a teacher. I've been in Etowah County for 14 years. I was in the Gadsden City System for 1 year, my first year of teaching. I teach U.S. history at Southside. I've been at Southside for 11 of the 15 years. I served as the assistant coach for 6 years, and then I've been the varsity boys coach since then. Played high school basketball and just really had a lot of love for the sport. I'm just a basketball guy. I didn't do anything else. That's all I've ever played was basketball. And so it was something I knew pretty early on that I wanted to do. I wanted to get involved in coaching. I really wanted to be a teacher too. I enjoy the teaching side of it very much too. But like I said, I was the assistant basketball coach at Southside for 6 years before I got the head coaching job, and so this will be my 4th year as the head basketball coach at Southside, and it's just I've always enjoyed working with kids on any level, whether it be coaching basketball or just everyday stuff. It's just always been something I've really enjoyed doing.
I like the history part. I'm a history buff myself, so we could sit and talk history all day long as well. Well, we need to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in a moment to continue our discussion of the basketball camp coming up July 11th through the 13th with East Gadsden Baptist Church in Gadsden. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. We are talking with Chad Holderfield and John Dickinson about the East Gadsden Baptist Church basketball camp coming up July 11th through the 13th, and it's for kids from kindergarten all the way up through the 8th grade. And one of the things we wanted to mention is there's no pressure in this camp. You don't have to be perfect. This is not a competition type camp. It's not a 5-on-5 or 3-on-3. It's just some basic skills and having fun, something for the kids to do for a few days, right?
Absolutely. We want them to learn the lesson of work ethic, of to improve at anything, to succeed at anything, you've got to work at it. But really want this to be just a great experience. We want the kids to enjoy their time with us at the church. We want these kids to enjoy their time with basketball. We want it to be something that they kind of develop a passion for. Really want that fun element to the kids, just to really have a good time.
How did your passion for basketball all these years become combined with the ministry of bringing these kids into church for a basketball camp, as opposed to just having it at high school or something?
There is a verse in 1 Corinthians chapter 9. It's actually 2 verses, verses 24 and 25. And the verse is it's something that I've talked to my players a little bit. I don't know if you may know him, Todd Clow is our team chaplain, works a lot with our kids in all sports. But the verse in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, it talks about the runners in a race and how they're all competing and training because they're running to win a prize, and how we should run to win that prize. But verse 25 goes on to say that in the world we compete for a worldly prize, but as Christians we're competing for a prize that won't fade. And for our kids, something that we want to talk about is, God's blessed us with so many different opportunities and abilities. Everybody in different ways. And sports can be, we talked about wanting the camp to be fun. Sports can be ultra competitive, and that can lead to some bad stuff. But on the flip side of that, anything that God's blessed us with the ability to do, we want to give our best at. We want to honor God in how we do that, and how we behave, and how we play, how we compete. And so that's a lesson that I really wanted our kids to learn is, you can be competitive and honor God. There's a lot of kids in the world that, for one reason or another, they can't do stuff like this. Maybe it's a limitation or a disability. But God's blessed you with the ability to do these sort of things. So don't take that for granted. Really, put your best into everything you do to glorify Him and how you play, how you do things.
John, talk a little bit about the ministry side of things too. These kids are going to come in for basketball, but how do you work the ministry side of things into ministering to these kids as well?
Sure, you can teach a lot of sports principles along with spiritual principles that will combine and overstep each other, and so just being able to share the gospel with them, that Jesus Christ is the only way we can get to heaven, is through Him, and to be able to help them understand you've got to play the games, the rules of life through sports, but we also can play the spiritual aspect of it as well. So we have that time which we center with them and help them understand how to have that relationship. Christ.
And you're right. It's difficult in today's society of sports, being so ultra competitive. You know, the parents are starting their kids out at kindergarten, teaching them your only goal in life at this point is to get a college scholarship in whatever sport you're playing, and they are grooming them almost like Olympians to do simply that job, and they make things so ultra competitive. It is easy to lose sight of just having fun with your gift, right?
Absolutely. You know, just as much opportunities as kids get to participate in everything, you know, and to do more. You know, we've become a society that focuses, like you're saying, on just specific things. But really to just have your kids to be well-rounded and participate in as many different things as you can. You know, with our children, we're doing a basketball camp, but we've had Vacation Bible School. We actually, this past Monday, took our children from the church on a day trip, and just as much stuff as you can expose your kids to, just to help them grow and to help them learn, and above all, just exposing them to Christ and those principles that will help them to live in a way that will honor Him.
And you're in a unique position as well, being a high school teacher and coach, that you can minister outside of the church simply by example, and that's a little hard to do in today's education environment as well. How does that affect you and how you conduct yourself at school and in practices and those kind of things?
I'm very upfront with our parents to let them know that this is what we're going to do. We're going to pray with our kids. Like I told you, we have he's the pastor at Riverbend Baptist Church, Todd Clow. Comes in once a week, does devotionals with them, is with them every game day. And you know, we have an FCA at Southside, a Fellowship of Christian Athletes, that meets once a week. And you know, it's you know, you could expect some challenges when you do that. You know, you worry that everybody is, but for me, at the end of the day, I've always kind of felt that if we're going to do this, we want to do it this way. You know, want to expose our kids and talk to our kids about Christ as much as we can, and really try to set an example for them in that way. And really, at the end of the day, it's, you know, who we surround our kids with. You know, the people that we allow to have contact with them and interact with them. And so we really try to have good people in our program come to talk to our kids. Brother Alan Hudson has come talk to them a couple of times, and so you just try to surround them with good people and set a good example for them and hope that it sticks.
And you know, in a lot of cases, it does stick. I remember, you know, my sport was baseball. I was a baseball player growing up and went to college on a baseball scholarship. And I had two different high school baseball coaches, and one of those guys, I would have done anything he asked me to do. If he said, Carl, after practice today, I need you to go jump off Nakalula Falls and see if you can make it work, see if you can do it, I wouldn't have questioned. I would have done it. You know, I had that much respect and admiration for this guy, and as a coach, you want your players to feel that way about you, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. This basketball camp that we're talking about again is with East Gadsden Baptist Church, and it's July the 11th through the 13th. It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and runs until 11 o'clock for K through 4th graders. 5th through 8th grade will run from 11:30 until 1:30. There's a $10 charge to be a part of the camp. Pre-registrations or anything like that? I think there's a registration form on your church website, I believe.
Yes.
And you can call the church, you can pre-register or register that day. How does that part of it work?
You can go online, East Gadsden Baptist Church, Google that, and it'll come up. And
egbaptist.org. Either way, that's we've had that on the screen several times.
You can get it through that, and you can print it, download it from that, or either you can call the church, we can mail you one, or either come by the church and get a registration form. And then send it in, and we'll have it done.
Very simple to participate and to take part in that. And Tell us how to find East Gadsden Baptist Church for the people who aren't familiar with it. Basically across the street from Goodyear, where the railroad tracks go into Goodyear.
Off of Megan.
Right off of Megan Boulevard. You look right across the street, and you're going to see East Gadsden Baptist Church sitting up there on the hill.
Yes. I've been there 3 years, like I said, and if I haven't been able to find my way around Gadsden, I'm sure anybody else can too.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talk about the church ministry overall. Since you've been there for 3 years now, and tell us what's been happening with the church lately, and you invite people to come in and join you guys.
Well, we're a very traditional type of Baptist church, but a very fun-loving group of people. Alan does a great job with our music, and hopefully I can preach it every now and then, and God blesses it, whatever I say. But it has been a great time being there, and it's just exciting. I appreciate Chad just willing to. Nobody came to him and said, "Chad, we want you to do this." He just took it off on his own to do this, and I appreciate that kind of mentality and awareness of wanting to do something like that.
Talk about your service schedule a little bit. Sunday mornings, everybody's starting everybody starts different times now. It's not every church in town doesn't start at 11 o'clock like it did when I was a kid.
It's kind of crazy. Our Sunday school does start at 9:30, and then our morning worship is at 10:40. I know that's kind of a crazy time, and then we also have an evening service that starts at 6 each evening, and then of course there's activities for children and youth during those times as well.
Yeah, Bible studies, choirs, all kinds of things going on all during the week with you guys. Anything we didn't touch on about the basketball camp we need to talk about?
Oh, I don't think so. We would love to have as anybody, as many children who want to participate. We're not going to turn anybody away. So come on and enjoy your time.
All right, sounds good. Well, we're going to take another commercial break, and we'll come back to wrap things up in just a moment. So stay with us here on East Alabama Today. Well, welcome back in our final segment of the show today here on East Alabama Today. We've been talking about the basketball camp at East Gadsden Baptist Church. It's coming up July the 11th through the 13th. The cost is $10, and you'll get a t-shirt as part of that. Kids from kindergarten through the 8th grade are invited to participate in the basketball camp, and it's 3 days of camp, and from 9 until 1:30 each day. Actually, the kindergarten through 4th grade will have the early part of the day from 9 till 11. 5th grade through the 8th grade will have 11:30 until 1:30. All kinds of basic basketball skills we'll be going over with the coaches that'll be there and all the folks that'll be involved. So to register, if you want to pre-register and go ahead and sign up and get involved, you can go to the website, egbaptist.org, look for the basketball camp information. There is a registration form on there that you can print out. You can call the church at 256-543-7300 to get more details. They can drop you an entry or a registration in the mail, or just stop by the church if you happen to be in the neighborhood and get signed up, or you can sign up that morning if you wait to the last minute to decide exactly what to do. But guys, thank you so much for being with us on the show today.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you here with us. And folks, it's been a pleasure to have you with us as well here on East Alabama Today. Hope you have a good day. We'll see you next time.